Um, to be precise, I'm not ignorant of the fact that all over the internet now, everybody will be talking about goal settings. Everybody will be talking about how to retreat for the new year. I spent a lot of time in time past to teach around those things around this time of the year when the year is coming to an end. But I promise you, I don't think I want to go in that direction anymore. As powerful as those things are, because everybody who is really serious to know what those things are about will really get to have those information. So I would just encourage you, everything you think you need, questions in your heart that you can get the answers online, just go on your own and make the search. Okay. So, but I'm going to have some in-house conversation with some of my mentees before the year runs out. So where we discuss a lot of things that maybe they are not too conventional to bring to the public gaze yet. So if you want to be part of that, why the people that is meant for will get it. But if you want to be part of that, just try to get the link to my WhatsApp channel. If this gentleman, Gabriel, is online now, I think he's the admin of that group, just put it up in the comment box. So, having said that, a couple of weeks ago, I started talking about addiction and trying to give perspective to what addiction is about, how it takes the advantage of your brain to play a fast one on you and keep you in a rabbit hole, that if care is not taken, you may not be able to find your way out. But also, we have the privilege of giving perspective as to how you can come out of whatsoever is keeping you hooked up. So the videos are still available on this channel. That's the beautiful thing. You can just, if you are joining us for the first time or at any point you are getting to see this video, you can just move a bit backward. Then you get to see that exhaustive conversation. I spent a couple of minutes or an hour or more to talk about social media, the the intelligence behind social media, where I gave a recommendation for a specific documentary. And of course, last week I dealt directly with pornography. And I believe it's really going to do you good. I've gotten some feedback from people who have related with those videos. So tonight, I want to quickly introduce the subject matter that I title The Finiteness of Purpose. And this time around, tonight will just be like a form of introduction because this topic to me, especially what I want to discuss under it, is robust, and I need you to pay keen attention in order to get the major part of it. These are strategies that you cannot separate any successful person on the face of the earth from these principles, irrespective of what they believe in, irrespective of where they are living, irrespective of, their background. Everybody doing something significant in life and living a life of meaning, they have come to understand this subject matter in practical terms. And that's the reason why we are bringing it to the fore in order to just for empowerment, basically. All right. Um, I am a researcher by training, and that's what I still do till now. I do other stuff, no doubt about that. At least what we do on this platform is not a research, and like you all know. But what makes research to be impactful is the fact that you can't just start out on a project when you have not defined your overall objective. It's just like somebody, maybe you are starting a PhD program and they ask you, what is your PhD program all about? What is this program really seeking to achieve? And you're like, I don't know. We are not seeking to get anything done or to getting anything done. We are just doing PhD. So what that means is such person will remain on campus forever because there will be no guidance as to what to do and what not to do. So the millions of people all over the world who are going to do doctoral programs in different parts of the country, the reason why they can really make progress is because they have clear objective that this is what I want to do with my research. This is what I am setting out to accomplish. Now, no doubt about it, pay attention. You may set out to achieve objective A, and by the time you complete that program, you are accomplishing something entirely different from what you set out to accomplish. Oh, that happens a lot of time. But the idea is that thing you are finally concluding on, if you've not set out with your defined objective that is leading you to that unknown, you practically will not even come to identify what you're identifying. Okay? So that's an academic example. Let's put it in business. If you are learning a craft and you are learning for learning's sake, if they ask you what do you want to do with this thing you are learning, if you can't give a practical answer, the fact remains that you can never you know you can never be among the people that will that will bring significant contribution in that field. It's practically impossible. Okay, so all I'm trying to make you realize is that if your life will change and set on a different trajectory, bigger, better, more impactful than all the past years combined together, then you need to master what we describe as the finiteness of purpose. And I can tell you on all authority, I can't speak statistically because there is no, I don't have data to speak into it. But what I'm sure of is that the majority of people you are seeing on the face of the earth, they don't know what they want to really achieve. And the majority of the people I'm talking about may include you. So I don't want you to be deflective as you'll be listening to me now. I don't want you to start seeing other people in the light of the conversation. The objective is that you become empowered, not necessarily that you receive on behalf of somebody else. Are you getting what I'm talking about? So the question is this. If you are already, which I believe most of you are above 20 years, some 30 something years, and all of that on this platform this time around, if they ask you today, what exactly do you really want to achieve? And you don't need to type it, but I'm asking you now that, gentlemen, what do you really want to achieve with your life? What is your life aspiration all about? The moment you can't give a precise answer, the moment you can't speak in clear terms, what exactly you want to achieve with your life, you are already a drifter. And you see, we can't be sorry about it, is the truth. It doesn't matter if you are dressing well, it doesn't matter if you are making money, it doesn't matter if people love you, people celebrate you. The moment you can't in a very simple term describe what you really want to achieve in life, at least within some number of years to the moment you are speaking. If you can't do that, you are a drifter. And this is where majority of the people in the world belong. People are on campuses studying courses that if you ask them, what do you want to do with this degree program? Somebody will tell you that I really don't know. I just pick the course. Or maybe in Nigeria, I'd say they gave me the course. I didn't apply for it. Another set of people will tell you that my mentor asked me to do it. Why are you enrolled in this program? My boss at work advised me to take it. That is lack of the finiteness of purpose. So I said all of that to set the precedent for what we want to talk about tonight, that the foundational structure on which your life fulfillment and legacy are built is the finiteness of purpose. And I'm going to show you step by step and, practically how this relates to everybody. There is really nobody that is exempted from this conversation. Some have mastered it, so they will understand it better. But I'm saying it's not a conversation that somebody will say, I don't need it. Oh, really? The fact that you have already come to this life, you can't just do it anyhow anymore. So the finiteness of purpose. And I'm going to connect the dots to you, how this will be part of your escape route out of addiction. And at the same time, I'm going to give you the practical application as to how this principle can give you head start for the year 2026 and beyond. The finiteness of purpose. I can't remember who said this thing, but I've heard it from different kind of people, that a focused fool will achieve more than a distracted wise man. A focused fool will achieve more than a distracted wise man. And do you know why that is happening? Because the wise man that is distracted is because he's not clear about what he's looking for. That's number one. Number two, average individual in this life, they are not into anything in order to achieve success. I was listening to Dr. Sam Adeyemi a couple of years back, and he cited an example that was really practical to me, which I'm going to share with you. I may not remember some of the things said word for word, but when I listen to a lot of persons once in a while when I have the time, but I don't listen to anyone in order to repeat what you are saying. I want to get the principle behind your communication. The moment I get it, oh goodness. If I'm talking about the same thing I heard from you, you should be able to learn from me with due respect to. So I don't try to copy what someone is saying so that I can go and repeat the same thing. But basically, what the man of God was saying was that most people, when they set out in life, to them, they feel they are trying to succeed, but that's not the truth, because they are benchmarking against failure. You know what that means? All their effort is not necessarily to excel. All their effort is not necessarily to really break through. It's not to have an accomplishment. It's to not fail. And some of you understand this thing better. Those of you, maybe you've been to higher institution. There is a difference between when you are seated in a class and from day one you are like, oh God, I just don't want to have a carryover in this course. That is you benchmarking against failure. So even if you are studying every day, if you are attending the lectures, if you are doing all the assignment, if you are responding to what the teacher is saying, to us, we think you are trying to succeed. But because of your internal directive, you are really not trying to succeed. You are trying not to fail. And an attempt not to fail is different from attempt to succeed. And you will get it after this conversation. Just stay with me. So when you are like, I just don't want to have a carryover in this course, So all your creative ability will be driven towards survival, averageness, just not to fail. Another person under the same atmosphere with the same level of knowledge like you, or the same level of ignorance like you, but who has determined that this course, I want to get the best from it. As I sit for this exam, maybe the worst case scenario, I want to have an A. Then the one who is targeting an A, if he or she fails, he may have a B. That is, if that person knows what it means to look for an A. But you see, the guy who does not want to have a carryover, by the time he comes back with a D in that same course, I hope you know to him he has succeeded. Because his overall objective is not to fail, and he has not failed, so he has achieved it. But he has achieved it at what expense? Is that really an accomplishment when we really want to describe accomplishment? The answer is no. That is exactly what the finiteness of purpose does for people, does for all of us in our life endeavor. So I make bold to tell somebody listening to me right now, or at any point you are coming across this video, that your productivity and your efficiency will increase in multiple layers. Your productivity and your efficiency is going to skyrocket the day you come to realize that I am no longer competing or benchmarking against failure, but I'm trying to really succeed. Guess what? The one that has benchmarked against failure and the one that is trying to succeed, in most cases, each of them will either give almost equal effort, but with wide, divergent outcome. Widely divergent outcome. So, what is the point that you will still give in effort at all? Because the fact that you don't want to fail does not mean you are not still going to work. You will work at least a bit. So if you are going to give in effort at all, if you are going to show any level of commitment at all, if you are going to engage at all in this field, why should you engage in the least possible way? Why should you engage with minimal focus? And the reason people do this is simply because many of us only want to attempt life. We are not really willing to live it. But guess what? I don't speak to people who want to attempt life. They are not my audience. They can't stay to hear me for long. So the fact that you can sustain, the energy of my communication by any means, it means even if you have not realized it, you are not really set out, okay, to be a low lifer. I can tell you that on all authority. So if you are going to really give any commitment at all, why should you aim for the least? While I was in school, I'm still in school, like some of you know, but I'm not in school like like a normal student anymore. But I mean, while I was still in the undergrad, some years back in Nigeria, I I was doing a program, a bachelor's program in industrial chemistry, and I really wanted to navigate my way out of that program. I was trying to study a different course. As a matter of fact, with due respect, I didn't like the university, not because the school was that bad, but because it was very close to where I grew up. So I felt it was going to be limiting for me to reduce my exposure and all of that. So I was writing jump. And some of you knew my story, and I don't want to direct all the conversation around me. Pay attention to what I'm really saying. So after a while, I gained admission to the University of Benin to study another degree program. But you see, even though I was anticipating that I would get out of that university where I was, the conversation I'm having with you tonight, the little understanding of it that I had then, and I'm talking about some 13, 14 years ago. Are you seeing that? So the partial understanding of this conversation that I already had that time was what saved me. It was not a counsel from anybody. I just said to myself, even if I will get out of this school, at any point I will be exiting this school, it won't be on the premise that I couldn't cope. It wouldn't be on the premise that I was failing. It wouldn't be on the premise that maybe the course was too difficult for this guy. Sincerely, I never imagined I was going to complete that program. It was not part of my plan at all. But I remember whatever is worth doing at all is worth doing well. So with that, side eye that I was using to view that course, I was still writing my A's in a place where I did not want to engage for long. But to cut the long story short, that was the same degree I eventually completed, and that will eventually be the bachelor. In fact, that's the only bachelor's degree I ever had so far. Then that positioned me for a master's degree. That positioned me for what I'm doing today. Every other thing I'm doing in academics, every other thing I'm doing in the field of, anything that has to do with research, the springboard was that degree I did not want to continue. Can I say this to somebody here? Even if you feel what you are doing is not what you would have loved to do, you are not wise by not giving your total commitment. You are not wise. Because what you have at hand, even if you are planning to pivot, what you have at hand right now, or what you have in hand, as the case may be, is more important. You see, more impactful than a lot of what you are pursuing that are ahead of you. Because if you can't make what you have at hand now work, you are not building track record to even to earn your own trust in your ability, not to talk of having the trust of other people. No matter how talented or gifted you are, if you fail too long, you will start doubting your own self. You know that human beings, we are not that kind to spare you of all your inadequacies. So some people can't even endure more than just your single, inadequacy, just one. But I'm saying, even you will start losing confidence in your own credibility if you don't have track record of success. That's the reason why, as we trust to move into something bigger, something greater, somewhere better, whatever it is, where you are in, build a positive track record there. But by the way, that is just, a like a digression. Let's now come back to the finiteness of purpose. What does it mean to when we say the finiteness of purpose? It is that everything you want to do, every engagement you want to give yourself into, you have to be clear and be definite as to what you really want to achieve. This is including a session like this that we're having. If you are living a life that is focused enough, you shouldn't come on a YouTube live if you are not clear about what you think this platform should offer you. So the question is, what exactly am I trying to achieve with this effort I am investing in, with this commitment I am giving in, with this involvement that I'm bringing myself into? The moment your life begins to take the shape of this conversation, suddenly you will start becoming another man. Do you know why? A lot of You will be able to differentiate between your opportunities and your distraction. For instance, if somebody wants you to be a friend to him or someone has become your friend, but the dynamics of your interaction is not in conformity to the progress in the direction of your purpose. By the finiteness of purpose, you don't need external counsel to know that this is not a relationship to keep. Something as simple. If you can still hear me, let me know in the comment box. It's looking like I'm talking to myself. If you can still hear me loud and clear, and not just hearing alone, that you can understand what I'm saying so far. I like feedback. I tell you guys a lot of times is a lot of work when I'm just talking to the screen. But it is what it is. That's the days and time we are in. It's always a different thing when I'm seeing the people I'm engaging. Some of you have been in my live sessions. By any means, you know that the difference is always clear. Okay, thank you. Um, good Goodness, I can see you there. Big ticks. I don't know who that is, but I salute you. I love you all. Greatness, thanks, 9986. All right, everybody. Yeah, nice one. Okay. I can see that you are there. So something as as simple as relationship management, people will begin to fall to different side of your spectrum just by having what we call the finiteness of purpose. Because if you are clear about what you want, every other thing around you that are not really aligning, every other thing around you that is not aligning to that objective, it will be easy for you to identify them. There is something I used to say to myself for many years. I said, at every point when I don't know what I want, I always know what I don't want. Even when I don't know what I'm looking for, at every stage of my life, I know what I'm not looking for. That's why before I got married, I was not just looking for a woman. I've always had friends, contemporaries, you know, colleagues, and all of that. But no, I know what I'm not looking for. So if we are talking, relating, I, I quickly will know that this is not that person, that kind of person I'm looking for. The reason why I could make that simple decision without effort was because I was clear about what I wanted. And by being clear about what I wanted, I'm not talking about the color of skin. I'm not talking about the height of a woman. I'm not talking that. If that's what you think I'm talking about, then you don't even understand what choosing a life partner is all about. And I'm not here to do relationship talk anyway, so let's leave that. But I said all of that to say, even when you don't know what you are looking for, guys, you must be clear about what you are not looking for. So the finiteness of purpose is the surest guarantee that you will ever have focus. A lot of times we are expecting too much from you when we come out and we speak in motivational parlance, and we are telling you you really need to be focused if you want to get something done. Then why are we expecting a man to be focused when he is not even sure of where he's going, when he's not definite about what he's looking for? So if you don't have a well-defined objective, if you are claiming to be focused, you are deceiving yourself, and at best, you are playing a chess game that you are not going to win. So we misplace these priorities, and we are not expecting too much from people. You're expecting too much from people. So as you approach year 2026, there are 365 days in every year. Simple enough. Everybody knows that. Leap year, 366. 12 months, 52 weeks. It does not matter that no matter how anointed your pastor is, when they tell you 2026 is your year, it is not certain. No, it is not certain. Some of you, in fact, they have told you time and again that this year is going to be your year, except that at the end of the year, you are afraid. They said this year is going to be my year. What's going on now? It's not that those ministers of God are powerless. It's not that some of the prophetic words being downloaded to you were inaccurate, but it's because you are not giving direction. You are not, you are not clear about what you need to do on your own part to bring, to realization everything that was said concerning you. So the finiteness of purpose is the guarantee that you can never be focused. And to link it up to what I was teaching the other few weeks ago, the reason why you are given to addiction and you continue daring is because you are not clear of what to expect from life. That's the truth of the matter. You are not. You don't have anything you are living for. You don't have any defined expectation from your own future. So because you don't have a clear expectation from your future, you can afford everything, including addiction, including distraction, including laziness, including lack of focus, including, all forms of unguardedness. Just I've tested what I'm teaching you. The moment you know what you want to achieve within a specific time frame, you have already gained some level of liberty from the negative forces of the universe. But those who don't know what they are looking for, they will be busy doing rise and fall because they don't know it. They don't know it. So, 52 weeks in a year, if you want to help yourself better, the question you should answer is, what do I want to see by December of the year 2026? And I'll be practical with you. Today it will be like I'm having one-on-one interaction with people. I'm not going to teach like transferring knowledge alone. It's going to be simple and practical. If they ask you, what do you want to be Who do you want to become? All those kind of questions that they used to ask us those years. Um, and you are like, I just want to be great. That's a lie. So, what's the definition of being great? It means you are not definite. And when you are not definite, your expectation is not clear. Because your expectations are not clear, what that means is you are setting out to accomplish nothing, even with best effort. So all those ambiguous terms you have been using to portray your future, let those funny behavior die tonight. Today is 30th of November. By tomorrow, it's going to be December 1. At least if this can go down with November, you will know that you have become a new person. All those diaries that you've been writing funny stuff inside for the past maybe 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, open them again. Every word you have written that you can't explain to a secondary school person, it means you didn't know what you were talking about. You really did not understand what you were talking about. And now look at it. If you don't understand what you are talking about, how do you expect life in itself to reward you over what you are not clear about? Are you seeing that? So you sit down in 2026. Let me share some practical example. I think is it's been bringing in my mind, but I didn't want to go in that direction. But I think that's just the best way that some of you will get it. My friend David Masterpiece, a few persons there, you know him. When he set out for the year 2025, this year that we are in, I can't be precise now. I can't be precise, but I know he posted those things online. He said he wanted to publish so and so number of science articles, number one, and he seeks to accomplish this specific number of citation. By the time we got to the month of August or September, he has exceeded the two. Why was he able to exceed that expectation? So, from the beginning of the year, there was a minimum number of paper because he was definite, he was clear about what he wanted. So, he knew that if a month has passed and I've not published this number of papers, it means I am the one limiting the fulfillment of my target for this year. Are you seeing how that level of commitment cannot even afford you the time for frivolities? Then citation, you are not the one citing yourself, right? But because of the one that was his own responsibility, he fulfilled it. Then the impact of those publications compelled other researchers to cite his own work, and he exceeded his expectation as early as the month of August. Are you seeing that? I will give you another example. A minister of the gospel. We have, ministers of the gospel in Nigeria. They seem to be the one, especially in the public gaze, that are very clear about what they want and they declare it. And why it's easy for them to declare is because they are teaching people in the name of God. So it's easy. When you hear all the topmost people, they will tell you things. Other people will say, I don't want the enemies of my whatever to stop me. That I don't know what people mean by those things anyway. Are you getting what I'm talking about? So I was watching a podcast and they asked a minister of God that people celebrate you a lot. People honor you a lot. You've done this, you've done that, you've exceeded a lot of, in fact, you've extended the frontier and shifted the benchmark set by the generations before you. And whenever they ask anybody that kind of question, I'm extremely very attentive to see how they were going to handle it. And the next thing he said is, he said, sincerely, I'm grateful to God because God is helping us to accomplish a lot. He said, but what we have accomplished so far is so low compared to what we set out to accomplish. He said, so I can't be blinded by my own light. We have a lot of work to do. The finiteness of purpose. The reason why some of you have declared holiday for the past several weeks, and that's what is going to happen to the end of the year, is because except for the job description being allotted to you in your place of work, you yourself, you don't have any plan. There is nothing you are after. Are you saying that? So, because there's nothing you are after, there is nothing to keep you awake at night. So, because there's nothing to keep you awake at night, even when you have exhausted the duration that your natural circadian rhythm can carry to sleep, you spend the remaining hours on social media. It is not really your fault. It's because you are not responsible for anything. So they were interviewing a man of God years back, and they said a lot of people take caffeine to stay awake at night. People, that's caffeine, it's caffeinated stuff. That's what you have in coffee, you have in some other um, you know, and some of these antioxidants that people take just to keep them alert and all of that. And the man said, I don't drink coffee. I don't take caffeine to stay awake at night. They now say, "Oh, but why is it that according to you, you don't sleep for more than 4 hours in every 24 hours?" And the man is a very humorous man. He said, I take responsibility. He said, people take caffeine in order not to sleep. I take responsibility in order not to sleep. So, the finiteness of purpose is what we give shape to your responsibility. If you don't know or you are not specific about what you need to do, you will not be able to identify your own responsibilities in order to achieve the vision. So, your life is not going to be better until you come to identify what you are setting out to achieve. So, bringing it back to relatable man. In the month of January, what should you be doing? In the month of February, what must you have completed in January to be able to operate well in February? What are the to-do list? And to do does not mean to see my friend, to receive so person's call, to go and greet somebody, to go and celebrate birthday, to go for wedding ceremony, to be among the groomsmen. No, that's not what we are talking about. Because when you see some people's to-do list, you will be sorry. 9 a.m. devotion, 30 minutes. 10 o'clock to call John. Then there is nothing defined. 1 p.m. eat. But this person now will be bragging to his friends, I don't eat in the morning. I eat my first meal at 1. But guess what? He's eating the first meal at 1. To them, they feel this is a serious person who is engaging spiritual exercise. But the gentleman, till that 1 p.m. every day, there is no commitment to prayer that is up to 30 minutes. So they are just doing things, not to achieve anything. The point I'm trying to make is this: listen to me. Some of you don't need to do more than you are doing. You just need to be clear as touching what to do and what you need to achieve. Then you will be able to streamline and channel your energy in the right direction. It's that simple. Some of you don't need improvement in your workload. You just need to change direction by doing what is necessary and taking away the unnecessary activities. Some of you, you are working too much, and yet you are a no-name person that is not standing the chance to become anything, because your entire energy is not channeled towards something definite. It is scattered all around. You'll be speaking to a 30-year-old person. What do you want to achieve? You will hear things like, I want to be a pastor. I want to be a school owner. I want to be a businessman. I want to be a politician. Really? At 30? At 30? So, okay, what are you doing now? He said, I'm learning how to code. You don't even know where to now start the counsel. You're like, okay, again, let's be clear. You said you want to be a pastor. You want to be a school owner. You want to be a businessman. The same you want to be a politician. But right now, you are learning how to code. Number one, your objectives, because you are not definite about them, you are not going to achieve any. Let's even start from there. And the reason why you are learning how to code is because you were never precise about what you want to do. So even when there is no connection between what you are doing now and the so-called divergent pursuit you've given to yourself, you still will not see that you are living a life of error. You are still not going to see that I'm just fooling myself. So people make choices that will take them on a departure from their overall objective without feeling disturbed at all. There is no clear person that can do that. There's no clear person that can do that. So the finiteness of purpose. Don't forget, I spoke about how it will define your responsibility, how it will help you to focus. Then number 3, I said, is going to help you to be able to separate between your opportunities and your distraction. Then the next thing is, it will give you the gift of interpretation of the current engagement. A simple question like, how is this thing I'm doing going to help me to achieve what I want to achieve? Then you are now different from an average person in the room. And I'm not saying you should go and discontinue something yet. By asking that kind of question, what you are doing that you may not even know if it is connected to what you need, the fact that you are clear about where you are going can give you that creative ability to discover how what at surface level seems not to be related are really related. So somebody who does not have the finiteness of purpose, even when you set goals, your goals are already wrong. It's like a building plan that is wrongly constructed. It doesn't matter how we try to describe it. the fact that is already wrong on paper, except if an expert is coming. And what that means is the expert is not working with the plan, he's working with a different plan. If that is not happening, the moment you get it wrong on paper, you're going to get it wrong on the ground. The finiteness of purpose. Go and check it very well. All the people whose materials you are reading today, they were very clear. Again, being clear does not mean you are very sure that this is what I'm going to become. No, you are clear about the direction to start engaging in. And I must not fail to say this, because I know, especially those who are in religious environment, the man who is progressing very well, but in the wrong assignment, so to speak, is far, far better than the one who is not progressing in any way. And I will tell you how. I will show you from the scripture. I will show you from this our contemporary society. Because some of you, when they ask you, what you will say is that the reason why I'm not doing anything is because I'm waiting upon the Lord. That's okay. You waiting upon the Lord? I'm just waiting on him. I want to hear him tell me that this is what he will want me, he will have me do, as we say in our churches. Then year one, I'm still waiting upon the Lord. Year two, I'm still waiting upon the Lord. I share the story of a gentleman, true life story, that entered a meeting. This is not movie. I'm telling you what happened in a place that I don't want to mention. And a gentleman was prophesying in that meeting, and the gentleman that was prophesying was a very notable, accurate prophet. And he prostrated for this young man that the glory was seen upon him, that even him, maybe if you have had something like this, that's not the one I'm sharing. I knew the guy I'm talking about now. So this is not stories. Maybe you've heard something similar somewhere. These people, I know them. They won't prophesy and they want to prophesy to. In those states. So, but I won't take it beyond that level. And the gentleman who was prophesying prostrated that, oh my goodness, that the glory upon this guy, he himself had to honor him. And he prostrated and started saying a lot of things. The guy they prophesied to, I know him. I know what he's doing today. I don't want to quote it so that I won't put myself in on. There's nothing any of them can do to me anyways. But again, I wouldn't want to put that gentleman in the spotlight. Do you know why nothing happened after that? They describe him as somebody with intimidating glory, and everybody started respecting him. But it was not definite about the direction to follow. So today, he will be in this business. Tomorrow, he will be in that one. He was succeeding in different things in smaller quantity. Listen, life is not designed to reward your scattered effort. Your effort is not the seed that you are, it's not the seed to be scattered. It is the seed to be harnessed. If you give 8 hours every day, even if you are average, listen, even if you are average, if you give 8 hours commitment to anything in life, I can't remember how they broke this thing down in psychology again, but I think in a matter of 8 to 10 years, you will be among the topmost 10% in that field. Fact. Fact. But you know what? Lack of definiteness of purpose will make you give 1 hour here, 1 hour here, 2 hours here, 3 hours here, 30 minutes there. So at the end of the day, you are now average in too many things. You are not even average, less than average in a lot of things. Except that people will know that this guy has that potential, but they are not coordinated together. Some of you know me, I do a lot of things. Since I've become a full-blown adult, I have never stayed with one thing at any point. So I'm not speaking to you as somebody who is not diversified. And I've spent enough time to carry out both observational and empirical study to speak to what I'm telling you today. So, what do you want to achieve in 2026? What? Or you want to wait till December 31st until your pastor begins to speak? You have those. If you are in that category, you are a frustrator of the grace on your pastor's life. And those pastors are not blessed to have those kind of members. Except that if there are many, maybe if there are many, they can put their resources. Then, even if they are not working well with the grace on your life, if they can bring something, you can move on with your life now. Because those who are clear with life, they know how to run with the word of people that they honor. Say, okay, they said this year we should do this and do this. How is that applicable to me? The moment you are able to dimension the word into something suitable for your own field of engagement, you've gained mileage above other people. But what do people do? They write those words down, rejoice over them, keep the diary. They are waiting on God again. How long will you be waiting on God? When will God be able to even count on you as an individual? So, don't smile the way everybody is smiling. If you don't have a glimpse of what your life should look like in the coming year, it doesn't matter what anybody is saying to you, it's not yet your word. If it's not resting on any foundational clarity that is in your soul, you won't be able to walk with it. That's what I'm telling you. So, as you want to retreat, study or pray, whatever you do towards the end of the year, which again, those who are my mentees, I've taught that consistently for 7 years. How to conclude the year, how to commence the new year. Again, I don't put myself in that kind of stressful engagement anymore. But as you put those structures in place, you should start rejoicing when you come to know what to do. What to definitely do. There's nothing like, what's your plan for 2026? I want to relocate. To where? I don't know. Now, first red flag. Because you are not clear about location, it means you will never care for what you want to go and do there. So it will now be that whatever comes, I'm going to take it. That's how people amount to nothing. It is better for you to have the finiteness of purpose and intention and even lack opportunity in that direction. Then you now find something to do and you feel, no, in my original plan, I didn't see any of these things. On the basis of the clarity with which we were working before, you will engage better in that area. Even though you feel my time here is limited, this is like a stopgap. But those who are already clear, you will also create another definite purpose in that same field you never imagined. This is what I'm trying to say. If you trust that by 2025 you are going to have a start, 2026 you are going to have a startup business and all of that, maybe in Nigeria, having branches all over West Africa, then you want to move to Europe later, then suddenly you now meet yourself in Canada. how you were able to curate that initial objective in Nigeria. You have activated certain dimension of your own being that if it can happen in Nigeria, it will happen in Canada. Because this has to do with your persona, not your geography. So those of you who feel until I travel out, there is no how I'll be able to succeed. It is from your mouth to the universe. That's the reason why you are not succeeding. How clear are you? I've spoken about weeks, right? Let's now bring it to, as I am concluding now for today. When you wake up in the morning, what do you really seek to achieve before the end of each day? If you have stayed with me till now, you've shown some commitment, and I hold you certain things I may not share everywhere. Every day of your life, are you living it as it comes, or you are living each day with intentionality? I'm asking you. Monday to Friday, you're at work. Saturday, partying. Sunday, religious gathering. After it, family time, movies. Monday, you are back. You do that 52 weeks, a year is gone. How old do you think you will attain eventually? Even if they have prophesied long life over you, I hope you know that there is a specific age that you will get to. If you have not really been doing certain things, you will never do them again. What I'm saying is, if you miss certain life principles to a certain age, even if you live long, you will live long in mystery. And there are principles that when you master, the longer you live, the sweeter it is, the more impactful your life is. The unfortunate part that we are not planning for anybody here to have, such that even if you now live untimely, that short time, people will be referencing it that it was well spent. Maybe you've not checked well. A lot of people you are studying in history, if you know the duration of time they spent on earth, you will realize that you are wasting time right now. A gentleman died in America this year. Some of you knew the story. It has never happened in the history of this country to have a collective gathering of high impact individuals, number one. Then the rank and files at the same time in that number gather to honor anybody, not even their past presidents. It was when this guy, Ali, the boxer, when he died, that they had that kind of experience across the United States years back. And here they don't joke with data. They know the number of people that were in attendance. Don't forget, Ali lived longer. Not only that he lived longer, he was a global champion in boxing for many years. Then a 32-year-old guy died and exceeded because of how he put value into 32 years of existence. Nobody told him I listened to him when he was saying that he planned to do so and so till Trump will finish his administration. That his next objective after that. These are very clear people. They are not approach. See, that's why life is meaningful to them. Some of them have 10, 20, 50 years plan. I mean, plans that they are not going to be alive to execute. Anyway, documented. Somebody will fire on with it. So he said, after Trump, I want to bring the J.D. Vance to to presidency. I mean, to become the president of the United States. They now ask him that even you are being profiled that you can be the president of the U.S. in the future. I said, well, I don't consider that as part of my objective. Except because today, as I am more impactful and powerful than most American senators. A 31-year-old person was talking like that. He said, but if people deem it fit later for him to be president, he said, but that's not part of his plan. So this guy was very clear about the next 16 years, not knowing that he would die in less than 2 years to the time he was talking. But again, we are not advocating that anybody should go and die young. But I'm saying those who are clear with the finiteness of purpose, even if they live untimely, that short time will bring transgenerational significance. And those who are not clear, even if they live longer, they will only count days. Their days will not count. Choose ye this day what manner of man you want to be. Thank you. I think at this point, I'd like to take questions. If anyone has a question, and if you are listening to us tonight, we'd like to request that you like this video. Yeah, basically, like it. If you are doing a replay at another time, put a comment. Let's see what you got in the course of the conversation. But I just want to believe, tonight, there are days I come and I shoot sporadically. Tonight is one of such nights. And I like it like that, where I don't have just an objective that I'm speaking from my heart to people. Sorry, I have objective, but not lay down points. Point number one, point number two. See what I'm saying? So, but I want to believe this is going to do somebody good. And if that person is you can let us know. So if you have a question, you know the drill, indicate in the comment box you have a question so I will know I'm waiting for a question, because if there is none, we would like to wrap up this time around. Those of you in America, happy belated Thanksgiving, right? Or belated happy Thanksgiving. Yeah. So it was a very refreshing holiday, except that I didn't have enough time to rest, even though I had the holiday. It is what it is. I've left school since Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's 4 good days. But in each of these 4 days, I can count the number of hours I slept. Nobody sent me on any errand, so I was the one who sent myself because of what? The finiteness of purpose. Okay, Doc. So that's where we are stopping tonight. Gabriel from Canada. I was looking for you. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I wanted you to share a link, something like that. But yeah, I don't think there is any question. So, thank you all for joining tonight. Please enjoy the rest of your day. Have a fulfilling week ahead. God bless you. Bye for now.